Yo, it's your boy, the Big Outside MTV again. Hey guys, Big Outside MTV again. In this video, I'm going to give you guys a review on my Magura MT7 Pros. I just wanted to do a review video that just covers all of what I like and dislike about these brakes. You guys may or may not know, I came off of SRAM Kodar brakes. And I'm just going to say this. No offense to all you guys that use these brakes, but I thought they were absolute trash. When I was looking for a brake, I was looking for something with more power. As you guys might know, I ride in UC a lot, which is a lot of steep stuff. And I heard great things about the Magura's power. But these are a couple of things that made the decision a lot harder. One being that people were saying that these were a pain to bleed. I think what the deal is a lot of people are not technical when it comes to bikes, which makes the bleeding procedure a lot harder. For me, I had no problem getting these bled, even though I've never bled a brake before. And another thing that people were talking about is that the levers just break in a crash. And I can confirm a couple things with using these brakes. That's all false. I've never bleeded brakes before, not even on a car, not on a bicycle, on nothing. And these were not even that hard to bleed. Okay, moving on to the next thing. Levers breaking. I have never had a single lever break in the 7 or 8 months that I've owned these. I don't crash too often, but when I crash, I've never broken. And I find these to look pretty cool. And I honestly love the feeling of these levers. So I wouldn't call that false, but I've never broken a lever before, so that's not a problem for me. Something I forgot to mention, there is a seal in these levers that people say blow a lot. I have had zero problems in the 8 months I've owned them, so again, not a problem for me. Another thing I forgot to cover was brake alignment. People were saying that getting them center was not fun. For me, I just loosen the bolts holding the caliper on, pull the lever, and tighten the bolts while pulling the lever at the same time. I honestly don't have that much to say bad about these things. These are just such good brakes, and I'm so happy with how they turned out versus those codes. Besides, they look cooler. And another huge factor when buying these brakes is that the bite point is totally different than SRAM or Shimano. SRAM has got a lot of modulation, but the power is just not there. Shimano's got a lot of power, but they're more of an on-off feeling. What a lot of people will explain these as is they're in between SRAM and Shimano in modulation. So you got a slight bit of modulation, but not so much modulation like the SRAM brakes. And they're not like on-off like the Shimano brakes. So I've tried a couple of brakes. SRAM Kodars, Shimano XT, and TRP Evo DH. And I've just loved the feel on these way better than any of those other brakes that I've tried. So if you guys got SRAM brakes and you're having problem with hand pump or arm pump, these might actually fix that problem. When I first threw these on and took them out for a test ride, that is the thing I immediately noticed. With SRAMs, you're like death gripping while you're going down steep. And another huge thing I want to talk about is brake fade. These are way better in all directions with heat dissipation compared to the SRAM Kodars. That isn't necessarily the brake, but it's more that these use 2mm rotors versus the other ones that use 1.8. 2mm rotors are going to get less hot, therefore more heat dissipation, and then turns into more power. And when I was buying brakes, I did not want to have brake fade no more, so I went with the Magura MDR-P rotors. These are a floating rotor design, which basically allows more heat dissipation, which, like I said earlier, equals more power. I did go with the 180 in the rear and 203 in the front, but I ride a lot of steep, so I'm going to up that one to 203 as well. Okay, another thing I want to talk about. SRAM brakes sound like a horn when you're going down steep. You know that sound when brakes get wet? Yeah, that sound. People can argue all day that that's not just a SRAM thing, but I 100% believe that it's just a SRAM thing. All I hear that on is SRAM brakes or if the brakes are wet. And with these guys right here, I haven't heard that since. Phew! I never wanted to hear that ever again. The last thing you want to hear is squeaking and creaking from your nice bike. I wouldn't worry about what people say about the whole bleeding process and the levers breaking and the seals leaking. Besides, if these start leaking, you have a 1-year leak warranty if you buy them brand new. Well, that is my review of the Magura MT7s. If you guys thought this video was useful or at least entertaining, please smash the like button. And if you like what you see, please consider subscribing. And remember guys, full send or no send.